Greetings everyone, I'm Dr. Anth. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to one of the most fascinating civilizations of ancient history. The civilization existed in the Indian subcontinent at the same time as ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. We call it the Indus Valley Civilization, as the major cities were along the Indus River. The Indus Valley Civilization covered a much larger geographic area than did either ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia. The Indus Valley Civilization also had a vastly larger population of at least 5 million people. Agricultural villages began appearing in the Indus Valley around 8,000 years ago. Over time, towns and then cities developed along the Indus River. The height of the Indus Valley Civilization was between 2600 BCE and 1900 BCE. During this time, there were at least a dozen major cities and hundreds of towns and villages. The Indus Valley Civilization traded throughout the Persian Gulf. There is evidence of a trading colony in southern Mesopotamia that includes items from the Indus Valley. These items include trade goods such as jewelry and semi-precious stones such as lapis lazuli. Indus Valley seals that were used to sign documents by pressing into clay or wax were also found. The Indus Valley traders even sailed throughout Southeast Asia and as far as northern Australia, where they tried to set up a trading colony. It evidently wasn't successful, but they did leave behind some dogs, which became the dingo. The cities of the Indus Valley were well planned, with straight streets separating housing blocks. The houses had wells in the courtyards and toilets and bathing platforms in the houses that connected to a sewer system. The sewers ran down the middle of the streets and were covered by removable blocks for cleaning. The people of the Indus Valley were very different from those living in ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia. There is no evidence of rulers or organized religion. There were no temples or magnificent tombs. All the burials were simple, with just a few possessions buried with the body. The only large structure in the city of Mohenjo-Daro was a pool. It was waterproof with pitch, presumably for communal bathing. There is no evidence of a military or warfare. There is no evidence of wealth inequality or gender violence. Houses were similar in size and possessions were similar in quantity and style. It seems that both women and men were involved in manufacturing trade goods in homes or workshops. The culture appears to have been egalitarian. Trade was the business of the Indus Valley Civilization, and business activities held the people together in peace. The Indus Valley Civilization can be considered the world's first democracy, dating back 5,000 years, thousands of years before Athens existed. The Indus Valley Civilization had a writing system, but only seals and short texts on plaques have been found. Whatever they wrote on, perhaps cotton scrolls, no longer exists. Therefore, it has been quite difficult to decipher the language. Recent computer analysis has concluded that it was probably a form of Dravidian, a language group still spoken in southern India. Beginning around 1900 BCE, a number of disasters struck the Indus Valley, which led to the collapse of the cities. Earthquakes altered the course of rivers and streams and may have collapsed the sewer systems. The sewer systems had kept disease at a minimum, but without the sewers, it is probable that waterborne diseases such as cholera decimated the populations. In addition, monsoons became less reliable, which led to famine. The result of these tragedies was that people fled from where disaster first struck, becoming refugees in other cities. The increased population overwhelmed the systems of those cities, leading to more crises. The domino effects of the crises eventually led to a total collapse of the Indus Valley cities and civilization. Most of the population remained in the region, living in small towns and villages. Those in the northern cities moved east into other river valleys and began to rebuild. The Indus Valley Civilization disappeared into history. It was only in the early 20th century that archaeological work began to rediscover its greatness. The Indus Valley Civilization shows that peace, prosperity, and gender equity are possible in large, complex societies. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.